Are you just starting out your fitness journey and feel like you're literally getting no progress? Then stop right there and watch this video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys today my top mistakes I made when starting my fitness journey that really held me back from seeing results. Before we dive into this video, if you find my tips helpful, if you use them in your own health and fitness journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner and also share in the comment section what helped you, what type of content you guys want to see. I really want to individualize my content based on what you're looking for and really help you to the best of my ability. So be sure to comment, share with family and friends, and let's get into this episode. Before I dive right into the mistakes I made when starting my fitness journey, I'm going to share some honesty with you guys. This is my second time filming this video. I'm having a very hard time getting this microphone to connect to my phone and stay connected. So essentially what's happening is I'm filming half my video, the microphone cuts out and I'm not aware. So then when I go back to edit my video, I see I have no audio. And this has happened honestly quite a few times at this point. So I have to check in between each clip that I'm making to make sure my audio is still set up. If anyone has any tips or tricks or is like an electronic guru, please comment that in the section below. Any videos you recommend I watch. I've watched a lot of videos on how to use this microphone, but I use my phone for content creation and I'm having such a hard time getting that to sync up. Okay. Just had to put that out there. If you guys have any tips, please let me know. As a new YouTuber, this is very challenging and honestly really holds me back from putting out more content because it's taking me so long to get my equipment working correctly. Let's talk about all the mistakes I made. I started my fitness journey technically, all right, we'll rewind a little bit. I started going to the gym at 14 years old. I went with my friends in high school. I just went because, it was a fun thing to do. I've never been an athletic person. I'm honestly the most athletic I've ever been currently. I was never a big sports player in high school. I just went to the gym. It was something that I did. I did not take my fitness journey seriously until I was in my 20s while I was in college. This is when I kind of got a little bit more serious, started to learn a little bit more about like macros and lifting and cardio to the point where I got very obsessive and this really hindered a lot of my results. I went directly into a cut, and that is the first mistake I made. I'm going to share some photos with you guys. If you don't follow me on other social media platforms, I talk a lot about my transformation. I got down to like 102 pounds when I was at my lightest and not in a healthy way. I thought I needed to cut right away because that was the thing to do. You go into fitness for dieting and you go into fitness for cutting. I didn't realize there were other goals and other aspects of fitness that you could incorporate into your routine. So I went into a cut. I had no business doing a cut. And actually, I did my first bodybuilding show the same year. I really had no business getting on that stage. I'm going to share some photos with you guys now. I had no muscle. In my last bodybuilding show, I was 104 pounds at my lowest on stage day. However, I have so much more muscle since then. Therefore, I really just had a very different composition. So what I should have done is really gone into a building phase, focus on building as much muscle as I can, especially as kind of a newbie in the game. Take advantage of the newbie gains. So mistake number 2 is really just building off of mistake number 1. I spent so much money on fitness BS, it's unreal. I wanted quick fixes. I wanted to drop body fat as quickly as I could. I bought all the fat burners, the waist trainers, the detox teas, the skinny teas, like literally any supplement you can imagine, I bought. Supplements are literally like 1% of your fitness journey. So if your diet and your exercise routine do not back up your goals, then the supplements aren't going to get you anywhere anytime soon. Instead, what I would recommend is educating yourself, either watching YouTubers like myself. If you are going to spend money on your fitness journey, I recommend hiring a really educated, high quality coach that's going to guide you and give you individual advice to achieve your physique goals. Don't spend money because your favorite influencer is sharing a product that they use for flattening their stomach or losing body fat, because at the end of the day, it really isn't going to equate to supplements you buy. It's going to equate to the behaviors that you keep throughout a long duration. I briefly mentioned before, I started to like over obsess about fitness. When I started taking it seriously, I was like in the gym 7 days. I was eating 1,000 calories. I wouldn't touch processed food. It really hindered my social life. It really didn't get me any of the results I wanted. I just felt very defeated. I was very tired all the time. I had a low mood. I had a low self-esteem. Even though I did become the smallest version of myself, I wasn't happy. That being said, don't obsess over being perfect. You are going to fail. That is totally normal. It's honestly expected. You are taking on a brand new task that you've never done before, a brand new hobby. Who's perfect when they start something new? Absolutely nobody, and neither should you. And I'm still not perfect, even though I've been doing this for years. You need to allow yourself flexibility. You need to allow yourself some balance, which is something I did not do. Instead, if you need to in the beginning, really factor that in. Have one meal out with friends a week. Create a regimen that is realistic to your lifestyle, because life is meant to be lived and fitness is meant to complement your lifestyle. And you really shouldn't be over obsessing to be perfect, because nobody's perfect and that's okay. Now, mistake number 4 is not utilizing the minimum effective dose. I briefly mentioned before, in the beginning of your fitness journey, you are going to optimize gains more than anybody else, because your body has not yet adapted to your training regimen. Someone new to the gym is going to build muscle at a much quicker rate than someone like myself who has been training for years. That being said, you also don't need to do as much as I'm doing to achieve these results. Someone who does not lift at all, goes to the gym 3 days a week, does 3 total body workouts, eats their protein, and maybe has like an 8,000 step count. They're going to get results very quickly. Now, for myself, at this point in my fitness journey, I have to go a full year of super dialed in nutrition, very strategic lifting where I'm progressively overloading each and every session to just build tiny little bits of muscle. Utilize the minimum effective dose. Figure out what you can do at the bare minimum to get the results you want, and then add in as you progress. My last mistake I made, honestly, this is not my last. I've made plenty of mistakes and I still continue to every once in a while. Going heavy without focusing on form. Just because you can move that bar, just because you can move the weight, does not mean you should. I have some cringe-worthy videos I'm going to share with you guys here that I look at myself and I had no business putting that weight on that bar. I don't have good depth. I don't have good form. My back is rounding. I definitely had a lot of compensation going on. Focus on your form first, master it to a T before you add any weight on that bar. Now, the reason I recommend this is because as you progress, the weight's only going to get heavier. Now, if you don't have strong foundations going into your fitness journey, it's only going to hinder you at some point where you're going to have to regress anyways. I had to do this myself. I went like 3 years not lifting properly, not focusing on form. I got really strong, but then I realized I couldn't progress anymore. I had to then take a step back, go to practically empty bar, reteach myself all of my compound lifts and a lot of my accessories to make sure I was doing it properly, utilizing the correct muscles, creating a mind muscle connection, and then pushing forward. So sometimes you have to take a couple steps back to go 10 steps in the right direction. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. If you want to know more of the mistakes I made, like I said, these are only just a few. Please let me know in the comment section below. I also want to share with you guys that next Monday, I will be launching my very first podcast. So check that out on Instagram at thefemalehustle.podcast. It's going to be everything from women's health, fitness, being a small business owner, and just really being on that female grind. So stay tuned next week for some more content. And if you don't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all things training, nutrition, fitness tips, and tricks. All right, thanks again for tuning in.